This video is to show how to make a little accessory for your iPhone. I'll show it to you first here. It's a little box, and here's what it does. It's a magnifier stand. You put your iPhone or smartphone on here, turn on the magnifier app, slide the zoom up and down until you get it where you want it, and this will hold it steady for you. The problem without using this box is that it's hard to hold it steady. It moves around. You move your hand a little bit and the screen is quite shaky, so this little box will hold it steady for you. I use it at work quite a bit. I work a lot with engineering drawings, and by the time you reproduce and reduce drawings, sometimes the dimensions and notes get really small and hard to read, so this does a very good job with that. So I'll show you how it's made. I haven't seen these online anywhere. I suppose somebody might make them, but you can do it yourself. This particular one is made out of EPP foam. It's expanded polypropylene foam that I got from rcfoam.com. It's used in building slow-flying model airplanes. And you can use this. This is a nice lightweight material. I suppose you could use masonite or plywood. I also have one made out of about quarter inch plexiglass that works really well. If you do use the foam, you have to make sure you use a glue that's compatible with the foam, something like this Yoo-Hoo Creative. It's kind of hard to find this sometimes, but there's some craft stores that carry it. Or you can use welder glue. Welder glue is available at Lowe's. It's not on the same shelf with the regular glues. It's off somewhere else for some reason. You may have to ask a salesman to help you find the welder glue. But these are foam safe glues. They won't dissolve the foam. So to make the box, it's fairly simple. The only critical dimension is the dimension from where you lay your phone down to the bottom. The distance from here down to the bottom of the box, and it's setting up like this, needs to be 3 1/8 inches. It can't be less than 3 inches or it won't focus, at least not for the iPhone. And if you make it a little more than 3 inches, then if you lay something on top of the table that has a little thickness to it, it'll still focus. So 3 1/8 inches is a good dimension. The rest of the dimensions are just to whatever fits your phone. On this one, the phone just sets inside. I extended the walls on the top. It's kind of hard to see since everything's white, but the exterior walls there, you can see, are extended up 1/8 to 1/4 inch just to hold the phone in place. And on my phone, the camera is right here off to the side, so you need to have a certain amount of overhang. It looks like I've got maybe 1.5 inches or so of overhang from the edge of the box to the lens, and that works out pretty well. When you turn this on, then you can see it focus there, and it's only if you zoom all the way out, you get a little bit right here. You get a little bit of the leg of that box in the view, but not very much. So proportions like what you see here work pretty well. So to use the app, I use Maglite. It works pretty well for the iPhone. You turn it on, you can zoom in and out. You can zoom in quite a bit. It does do a good job of magnifying, even though it's a digital zoom. There's a light on it. You can turn the light on. Since this is a glossy paper, you get quite a bit of glare. But if you need a light, you can turn it on. Normally you don't need it. And there's also a feature on the iPhone itself called a magnifier that you can turn on. To use that, you just click the home button 3 times, click on magnifier, and it's a very similar thing. You can zoom in. With the magnifier you can zoom way, and it's really powerful. There it's all the way in, and you can see it does, that really magnifies. I don't know what the power is, but it is way up there. It also has a light you can turn on, and again with that glossy paper you get too much glare. So you don't have to download the app. You can just use the magnifier, and I am sure that there's similar apps and features on Android that do about the same thing. So give this a try. It really helps out. You can also use it for things like looking at the date of a coin. Just lay a coin under there. If you have a hard time reading a really small print like that, it does a really good job of showing the small print, things like the date and even scratches and so on the coin. So there's many uses for it. Go ahead and build one. I sure use this one a lot.